Guys. Nice meeting you.
Hi, Melissa.
And this is Haley.
Hi,
We
Haley.
we watched it this weekend. We loved it, and actually, her hip hop teacher was in it, so that was kind of cool to see.
No
Rob
way.
Junior.
Jr. He is Haley's hip hop teacher, so that was
Come on.
really cool.
He was my teacher too.
Really, there you go. So she's very into musical theater, so I'll let her ask the question. Go ahead, Haley.
Do you have any advice for younger performers who want to be on Broadway someday?
That's a really good question. I think I have two pieces of advice. My first piece of advice is that it's really hard to give advice because you're gonna make the mistakes that you're gonna make. And the best thing about advice is that I'll tell you something, and then after you make the mistake, you'll be like, "Oh right, I was advised not to do that," and then you'll learn from it even better. But like making your own mistakes is the best way to learn and grow. But the thing that I would say is what you're clearly already doing is like devoting yourself to like the multidisciplinary elements of it, and taking hip hop classes and taking ballet classes and singing when you can, and basically just doing as much as you can if you love it.
Because you
all
love
of
it.
the things that
Because you
love.
love it. Exactly. Like the motivation. I mean, it's funny. Like you have to love it. I think that's the most important thing. I can't speak to the Broadway perspective because I'm not a stage guy at all. So doing that show with these guys was completely terrifying for me, even dressed up as Patchy. But it's funny. Like we probably all know kids like, wow, the kid who can hit, throw a baseball 100 miles an hour, you know what I mean? And his parents are grooming him to be on the Yankees or something. And then he's just ain't feeling it. Like around high school, he's just not feeling it. His parents are like, what? But it's like, if he's not loving it, there's no way that can work. You know what I mean? So I think just passion and that baseball kid will find something else he loves that you gotta love it. You got because it's hard, right? It's physically hard, like you were saying, Ethan, especially a part like SpongeBob for Ethan, is physically demanding. And, we were talking about auditioning and stuff earlier, as actors, you're just auditioning all the time. And you get a lot of no's, even stuff you're perfect for, I'm perfect for this part. Yeah, we like you, but we're going to go with this person. You have to, that's all stuff that you got to kind of build yourself up for. It's hard. You know what I mean? It can beat you up if you let it. So you have to, your love for it, and you have to build up an attitude of just like, okay, next, you know what I mean? Thank you. Next. And,
And I do want to add one more thing at risk of being my rambly self, which is that I think that something that I talk about a lot with my friends, most of whom were in SpongeBob on Broadway, is that like you need the passion for it, you need the work ethic, like working really hard is super important, but it's also about being a good team player and being, for lack of a better word, just being like friendly and treating people the way that you want to be treated. Because the way that this works is that like, yes, we all want to be on Broadway, but we really want to be artists and creatives and doing things that are like vulnerable and take a community to make. And so the best way to be your best self and be your best artist, but also the best way to be brought into as many projects as possible is be somebody that you would want to work with.
So true, Ethan. So true. And also, yeah, it's, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's, I had a great thought here. I'm having a senior moment. It's, just what were you saying? I had a great thought. I had a really deep thought here and it instantly flitted away.
Be a good person to work with. Work nicely with people.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Is I would say being around the Broadway show when we filmed this for the DVD and being around animation every day are probably the two most intensely collaborative environments I've ever been in. Like speaking of team players, that's where I was going. Like animation, there's so many people along the way and everybody puts their own little piece on it, whether they're the person who designs what SpongeBob's pineapple in bed or whatever look like, or, the person doing the stage design or the Foley for the stage, or there's so many moving parts and everybody's bringing their best game. And like Ethan was saying, it's exhilarating to be a part of a team that builds this pyramid. It's like, wow, we did that. I like, I love being a part of that. Like that's kind of my favorite part of being in animation, and it sounds like Broadway, or what I saw of Broadway, it's exactly the same.
Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate that.
You
Yeah,
bet.
thank you.
Good luck.
Hey, real quickly, could you tell me your favorite musical number in it?
In the show.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to say it like changed for me like every other week, which is really good for a long running show because it meant that I was always looking forward to something new. But I'm gonna give you two answers because I have to. My favorite song to perform consistently was I Guess I Miss You, the John Legend ballad between SpongeBob and Patrick. I mean, I love that song so much. I love Danny so much, who's playing Patrick. It was just always a good moment. And I love that song. And then, I mean, Squidward, I'm Not a Loser. Like from the moment we heard that track, it was like, oh, this song is epic. And then getting Gavin to, it was just so great. And I could watch that one. It was great.
It's funny. Those are my two favorites too. And I guess I miss you, but the relationship between SpongeBob and Patrick and the four actors who play them, Bill Fagerbakke and I in the cartoon, and then Danny and Ethan in the Broadway show. I mean, it's funny. Like Bill and I, became really good friends all over the course of SpongeBob, and still are, we still make SpongeBob every week. And I could see that same dynamic between Ethan and Danny, because a lot of times you work on shows and people like each other and stuff, but then when it's quitting time, you go home and there's certain shows where you can be very intimate in a work environment with people, but it doesn't extend past that always. It's kind of more. And I saw that between you and Danny. I'm like, that's why that song works so good on stage.
Yeah, that's so sweet, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. We really loved it.
Bye. Good luck.